Hello.
Hi guys, welcome to the channel. It's another Talk About It Thursday, and again I am here with my girls and we're just having another conversation about another thing that's happening that's affecting us a lot. So for today's topic, we touched on it a little bit 2 weeks ago, but we're going to continue that topic this week. Before we do that, we want to do a little bit of a check-in. So for me, this week has been a little bit stressful, but I'm very optimistic as to what next week is going to be like. And I've been trying to be really consistent with YouTube, posting on YouTube, and promoting my channel, all of that stuff. So that's really it for me. I don't want to go into too much details, but I'm very optimistic as to what next week will be like. All right, Keita, Kristen, one of you can go.
My week has been chill. I got a little break from my little one, so I've just been chilling, relaxing, working, but just taking it easy this week.
Okay. Kristen, how's your week been?
Well, for anybody that lives in the New York City area, you already understand that Isaiah messed up everything as far as power outages. So anybody who's affected by the hurricane that passed through, I still get paid. I've been having a lot of power outages, and a lot of people's trees have fallen and stuff like that. And it's been very inconvenient because even after a few days after it passed, it's still going, my power's still going in and out, so that's been a little stressful. So it's been making it very difficult to work from home and everything, but other than that, I'm blessed and I'm feeling alright.
Yeah, I'm definitely sorry to hear about that. Today's topic is colorism. Okay, I feel like as a woman of color, we tend to have to endure colorism a lot within our community. I'm not sure of those of other race, if they go through it or not, okay? Because I don't want to just say it's us, but I can only speak from my own experience and what I've observed, and that is that those of our melanin or different shades of our melanin tends to go through colorism a lot. Guys, how you feel about colorism as a topic, or have you felt like you have to deal with colorism within your own experiences?
I'll say that this topic can hit very close to home, just based in in my ethnic community, it's an issue. And I mean, granted, we get part of our ideologies just based off of people just growing up thinking that I'm a dark skinned woman, so you've seen there's been plenty of studies done on children that everybody will okay. I remember there was a study where it was there were these little girls and they were given a doll, and they had a dark skin doll and they had a white looking doll, and they asked, which doll do you think is pure, which doll do you think is good, which doll do you think is bad? And anytime it was a good compliment, it was towards the white doll. Anytime it was a bad compliment, it was the darker doll. And it's very true in our community. Because I feel like, I just feel like sometimes the privilege of being of a lighter shade affects people's thoughts on you. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, it extends into our own communities, even if we share the same type of ethnic background. Yeah. And it's sad because it's just like, where do we get this, oh, I'm more superior or I'm lesser than because of skin color? It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot to take in.
It is a large topic to deal with. I feel like for me, on a personal level, a lot of people do not really sit down and think about how they interact with those of different skin tones. But often cases, their behavior display those biases that he or she might have. You know what I mean? Like, but Kita, how do you feel about colorism, and have you dealt with it?
So colorism, to me, like, I see that it is, it's real. Because you hear a lot of these comments made by people like, oh, she's pretty for a dark-skinned girl, or she's pretty for, you know, mm-hmm. It's like, why does she have to be pretty for a dark-skinned girl? Why can't she just be pretty? Mm-hmm. I don't feel like I have experienced it, or if I have, like, I wasn't, like, aware, mm-hmm. But I do feel like I've been, like, it's kind of, like, embedded in us. Mm. Because of things that society teaches us.
Right.
It's subtle. It's taught, but it's, like, taught subtly. So it's like, the pictures that you see of what is perceived as pretty is always, like, people of a lighter tone with a certain type of hair. So,
right.
You know, you begin to think, like, what's supposed to be.
Mm. So do you feel like you benefit from it in a way?
No. I don't feel like I've benefited from it. Because I feel like I'm still looked upon, you know, by other races as black. But
so what about within your own?
Within my own, I don't know. Like, everybody is like, what are you? Like, are you black? I guess, yeah, then I've experienced colorism. But it's like, they be like, what are you? Are you black? Like, are you really black? And I'm like, are you really asking me this question?
So for the viewers that cannot see Nikita, all they see is the pictures that are on the videos. Why do you think those that do see you in real life would ask those questions? Like, tell us a little bit about your features that might bring up questions.
Well, when it's not summer, I'm lighter. I'm not that light, but I'm lighter tone. My hair is kind of lacy, straightish, wavyish. I don't know, my hair is crazy. But everybody always asks me, like, are you black? And I'm like, why is that a question?
Governments and everything are very important to affect you immediately. So I really feel like people need to get more involved in their local counties and everything, and just about, you know, how to make their living better for their communities. But, you know, it's a big step for a woman of color to be in a position like that.
Yeah.
Like, we might not even see this ever again. You know what I mean? If this goes through.
Right.
But, you know, competing with that, like, it's a struggle. I'm not sitting there saying more online because Pence has shown that he is not supporting anything that would benefit me. Now, if Kamala doesn't do anything that feels for me, I'm gonna still hold her responsible.
Right.
That's where I think people get it twisted. It's just like, oh, one color's in there, so you should just be happy. And I'm just like, no, I still want a person that's qualified, and they're still gonna get the same scrutiny anybody else would. But let's be real, this opportunity would not happen or have happened if, you know, there weren't people marching, if there weren't people protesting, if there weren't people giving each other opportunities to get that far.
Right.
So getting the extra scrutiny because she's of color, treat her like you treat any other candidate.
Right.
But stop focusing so much on her skin tone and just hold her accountable for the policies and the work that she's going to do. Period. Plain and simple.
I think a couple of years ago when there were a lot of governors being elected, female governors, a lot of those of color as well were kind of shocked, you know? And I think that's because a lot of us within our community don't really believe in those people that are of color that are trying to run and don't really want to, you know, put in certain biases that we have from ourselves or feelings we have about ourselves, putting it onto that person. We don't know what someone is going to do in office until they get there. As people of color, we need to read up a little bit more as to what the political system actually is, as to what the policies are, because even though we know we're not in control as much, I think reading about it makes you a little bit more knowledgeable. As Kristen was saying, when you want to make an impact, you have to focus on your local government. That is where you live. That is where you are affected. The taxes, the school system, a whole bunch of things are affecting you in your current location. You know?
And that's also your voice when it comes to the federal stuff.
Right.
That's your voice because you're not literally there. So they're the ones who are making certain federal laws go into effect. That's how it all connects. So
right.
For you on the federal level.
So for those of you that were sleeping during that time in school, I need you to read up a little bit more, because if, like Keita was just saying, meaning your representative is the one that's going to vote for your state. Okay? And you as a I'm not saying we're going to win all the time, because sometimes there's some voter frauds happening and stuff. Okay? There's some stuff happening there. But what I'm saying is, at least you will feel a little bit better if you use your right that you or your ancestors had to fight for. It took a while for those of color to actually be able to vote. And even till this day, there are barriers that prevent those of colors from voting. There are barriers for even females, because a lot of times we are at work and we have to take off if we want to go and go vote. We have to take that kid and take them to the voting poll if possible. There are a lot of barriers, but what I'm saying is, the person that's currently in office is there because of a whole bunch of things that had happened, and we can't control it. But now, if we get the opportunity, we should not be bashing someone that's given us an opportunity. Okay? Someone has given us an opportunity. And I know maybe some of your favorite artists are, supporting certain people.
No.
That's their business. Okay? That's their business. Again, this is Talk About It Thursday with me and my girls. If you don't agree with what we're saying, you can simply watch the rest of the video, but you can just leave after that. But what I'm saying is, it's our opinion, okay? You can have your own. Everyone is is able to have their own opinion. We're just having a discussion as to things that affect us, so it's kind of therapy for us as well. But colorism does exist. I don't have time to focus on those that hate on the people I love or the culture I love. We do get the opportunity to block people. So if you can, and there's a hater out there that's just not loving those of color, I would say you don't need them in your space. And that could be virtually or, in real life if you want. But colorism is really hard because I'm just like, a lot of times I'm just wondering when I do have a kid, like, am I even prepared to communicate and explain without it going so deep? Without it being so deep, people have to explore, I think in Africa you have such a variety of black folks. You know what I mean? Like, and often cases they're not even mixed. I think in Madagascar, you can find black folks with blonde hair, blue eyes. They can still be dark skinned. You know what I mean? Like, and someone might think they're beautiful and some people might not. I think they are. There's an array of us. So, yes, we're considered black, but that's just what we're identified as. But there's a spectrum. Like, we can be as light as day, from albino to dark as whatever. And we're still beautiful. That's what I think. Like, you become ugly based on what you do and how you act. And, from my opinion, like, that's how you become ugly to others.
Because I definitely base character. Like, I mean, initially, I might find somebody attractive, but if their character is off, I don't care. Just become ugly.
Right.
Even if I thought that before, that your facial features or your bicep, you become ugly to me.
Yeah.
Like, I start to learn more things about me.
Yeah, because growing up, I feel like there's people I liked celebrity-wise or just people around me. It was different shades. Like, it wasn't just because of your skin tone. Yes, they were of black. I have a preference. You know what I mean? But within that, they were all different shades. Like, I wasn't going for just the light-skinned person because everybody likes the light-skinned person. You know what I mean? Some people are darker skinned. They look really nice. Deep into let's say our history, and we see, regardless of the different mixtures, we identify with a certain thing, or let's say a certain race, because that's what we love. I would say I never questioned being black. I love who I am. And I hope if you are black, white, because that's really the different variation. We don't want to talk about ethnicities because, you could be Hispanic and be black. Just to say that. You could be Asian and be black. Right? And so it all differentiate, but I just want to say colorism exists. You should not ignore it and think that, this is just us going backwards. It does. And us as black women in America, we deal with it a lot, either being on the benefit side or being on the side that does not benefit. But that's simply it. It was a little bit of a shorter video after I edit. Hopefully it is. But go out and vote, I would say. Go out and vote for your local government. If you missed the deadlines, try and see if you can contact someone. Find out whenever there's a meeting happening. Majority of the meetings nowadays are virtual. So I know you have a lot that you might be going through. We all do. Just utilize your right, especially when other rights of ours are being blocked. Okay? And stay safe out there. And I'm going to end the video. Do you guys have any last words for this video?
No.
They might be sleeping. They said no. Anyway, so again, thank you for watching Talk About It Thursday. I hope you enjoyed this video on colorism. We didn't go too much in depth into it, but we also tied it into current things that are happening and different events that have happened within our life. We do have an array of friends of different spectrums when it comes to the color or melanin. And we also have friends of different races as well. And so if you are any of those, join us in our conversation down below. And I hope to see you next time, next Thursday for Talk About It Thursday. And next Thursday is going to be an interesting topic. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you share and subscribe. We're trying to make sure we're doing our part within the society. Thank you for everything and all that you are. And I'll see you next time. Bye.